The COVID Prophecies, A Healing Message for Troubled Times, written and narrated by Abdiel LeRoy. Introduction. When I began writing political poetry in 2001, enraged at the US Supreme Court's fraudulent installation of George W. Bush in the White House, I had no idea I would keep it going for 20 years and through 3 imperial presidencies. But here we are, several hundred poems later, along with occasional prose pieces and short stories, all gathered into the Verses vs. Empire collection. Nor did I foresee the turn my writing would take in 2020 with the arrival of a transformative virus that suddenly challenged the existing order so lamented in my verses up till then. Nor could I have imagined the power of this virus to effect rapid change in ways that petitions and protests could only dream of, much less that I would come to embrace it as our champion pathogen. COVID also demanded I use prose to a far greater extent, especially as I approached publications to offer the good news of COVID, news that they would prove so unwilling to hear. So I decided to excerpt all the Verses vs. Empire pieces written since COVID's arrival and combine them with 1 or 2 earlier pieces to form the COVID Prophecies. Though prose, rather than poetry, makes up the majority of this distillation, its themes are anything but prosaic. For I see in COVID the arrival of a prophetic revolutionary, an activist for abolition, setting us free from the structures of exploitation that have enslaved humanity for millennia. And that prophetic mission, akin to Moses' use of plague against Pharaoh to free an enslaved people, is profoundly poetic, shaping human thought and destiny, allied even with the creative force that declared, "Let there be light." As I said, our gatekeepers of punditry have proven unequal to the task of discerning COVID's message. So be it. By the grace of modern technology, I don't need their sanction. Christ came to overthrow the existing order. He chose things deemed foolish by the world to shame the things deemed wise, and he called on me as a man of letters for this age. If my activity be from him, no word of it shall fail, but yield its timely harvest. Nor shall any, man or monster, dragon or devil, institution or imperial beast, nor anything else in all creation, prevail against it. Naysayers will arise, of course. I will not debate them. Why waste words on those who have already made up their minds, and who use the testimony of prophets merely as fodder for mockery? Let them. Their end shall be what their deeds deserve.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?